everyone and welcome to a new episode of The Bug Warrior. In this episode I will show you why Mythic 3.0 is failing casual players in Season 14. Tonight for the first time I logged off feeling that I had just finished another shift at work instead of playing a game to relax. That's why I wanted to make this video. Season 14 is currently one of the most controversial seasons since Diablo 4 was released, mostly because of the changes regarding mythics, but really I think it's the fact that the Diablo 4 team at Blizzard doesn't understand who their target audience is, which, like it or not, are casual players. If you're a casual player that only gets to play a couple of hours after work, you basically won't get too far in Season 14, unfortunately. And the reason is that Blizzard has changed the game in a way that requires that you put in a lot of hours and that you grind in a, let's call it, not fun way. Let's start with the new mythic system. As you know, in Season 14, every unique can be a mythic unique. And as you know, there are two ways to get a mythic. Either you find it or you craft it. If you choose to craft it, which most of us do, well, it turns out that in Season 14, believe it or not, you can only equip one crafted mythic. This is actually insane because all the resplendent sparks that you can get in the season journey in the end will only allow you to use one mythic. It doesn't matter if you crafted at the blacksmith, the jeweler, or through the cube, they all are flagged as crafted, meaning that all the other mythics you need, you will have to find them in the open world. Now this takes us to the next problem, which is that for the first time there are no mythic drops, or better said, the drop rate is almost zero. Take me as an example. I am close to Paragon 250, I can clear all content in Torment 12 with no trouble, I can clear the pit 120, and all this without a mythic. And believe me, I have been farming lair bosses and I have been doing my best to collect Superior Lair Keys to farm the Corrupted Reaper at Torment 12, and all I have been able to get are Pandemonium Fragments, which allow me to craft mythic that I can't get nor use. It's clear that this loop wasn't carefully thought at Blizzard, and the reason, my friends, is because they only get feedback or listen to a very selected and limited group of streamers that, as we know, are the top players in the world. The problem is that Blizzard doesn't get that the majority of the player base are actually casual players, gamer dads, whatever you want to call it. Basically all of us that only get to play a couple of hours, if lucky, per day. The problem is that with this new system you enter an endless loop where you keep trying, you keep farming with what little time you've got, and at the end of the day, when you look back at what you did, you realize you accomplish not much. And this is because Blizzard has locked mythics behind a system that requires to put a lot of hours in the game, but even that doesn't guarantee that you will get them. As you know, Woodiju recently documented farming around 2000 lair keys without finding the specific iconic mythic he was chasing. Think about that for a second. If one of the most dedicated Diablo 4 players can invest that amount of time and still come up empty-handed, it's reasonable to ask what that means for players like us who only have a couple of hours to play after work. If Diablo 4 was an offline game, then it would be different, because for example in Diablo 2, yeah, some items and runes can take years to be found, but it's an offline game and there are no seasons, so you just play the game. Here that is the main problem that I've got, that they want us to enter this new mythic rabbit hole, and seasons in Diablo 4 are what, like 2 months? It's crazy we have 5 to 6 seasons in a year, and that is my final thought. The reason why Blizzard does that is simply to throw a new reliquary system, which most people buy, new collaborations where they can sell expensive cosmetics, and that is unfortunately what drives the business. I don't have anything wrong with making money, but this is not the way. Last but not least, the other problem is the current state of the endgame, which is war plans. If you completed war plans last season and you are like me, you basically have no motivation of going through that again. And it's simple, war plans are boring because they are the same activities we play in the game, but forced in a path upon us. I'm not against doing Helltides, I actually love Helltides, but war plans makes me stop from doing Helltides, from something I'm truly enjoying, and then I have to jump, say, into Infernal Hordes, because otherwise I won't level up my war plans. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, that tonight for the first time Diablo 4 made me feel like if I was at work, and that's when I decided to make this video, because we play to relax, to have fun, to forget the stress of the daily activities. But at least for me this season something felt different, and I think it was because I felt again that it was my duty to do war plans, it was my duty to get more Superior Lair Keys, it was my duty to find mythics no matter what. But that's the question, what for? I'm already at Torment 12, very few objectives are missing from my season journey, and well, there's no motivation to keep going. Yeah, there is the tower and the pit, but I mean, after all these issues, since finding mythics is the only way to progress at the pit or tower, well, it doesn't feel too rewarding, at least for me. Well, these are my thoughts. Summary is, I don't think Blizzard knows the Diablo 4 audience, and as you can see, I only talked about Diablo 4. I actually did my best to not bring Path of Exile 2 or other games into this equation because, well, that would have been worse. All I can say is that, for example, at Path of Exile 2, well, those guys are doing amazing, and once you learn the game, you will never be bored of it. It is difficult, yes, but it's very fun at the same time. Anyhow, these are my thoughts. Please let me know if I am crazy or not, but for sure in Season 14 something changed in Diablo 4. We reached the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far and found the video interesting or useful, please consider to share, like, comment or subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.